And we are live. Welcome to this live video where we talk about the micro signals a girl sends to you when she's interested, to let you know that she's interested. But before we start, if you're new here, my name is Luca and I'm one of the world's leading experts about approaching girls in the daytime. Since 2018, I've helped over 1200 men sleeping with new girls approached in the daytime. I started teaching it only in Italy in 2018 and then also internationally from 2022. So microsignals, indicators of interest, call it as you want. Let me check if the audio is working. Okay, perfect. So women communicate with more indirect signals, okay, that therefore the man does not understand, because usually men are not so smart about this. They really lack social intelligence. They cannot understand women's reactions, how they feel. Also, for example, when women are at the club, they think that they are obvious in showing that they are interested, but they are not clear for the men. For example, they just maybe bump into you just with their shoulder when you are at the club, and then they go back to their friends and they say, "Oh, did you see that guy? I showed him that I'm interested, and now he will come to talk to me." Or but we did not understand. We just thought that she just bumped into us in the crowd, and that's it. So we're not thinking that she's interested. Or but this is just one example. I will give you many examples in this video. I don't know, for those of you that are already connected, if you want to ask some questions, you can type your questions in the chat box, and I will answer later at the end of this video. But if you type the questions now, you are the first that will receive the answer. So never mind the typical signals, okay? Because in the world of success with women, improving your skills with women, there are many signals that are actually, they can be a little bit true, but they're not the real signals that you have to watch. For example, when she touches her hair, is it a signal? Is it a positive signal? Maybe, okay, but you don't have to watch this kind of signals. She has her legs crossed when she's it doesn't matter, okay? It may be true, she may be interested, but you don't have to watch these indicators, okay? If you're only watching these quote unquote indicator of interest, many times you will not get laid, because you don't have to watch these kind of signals, because the biggest indicator of interest that she can give you is that she's devoting her time to you. She's spending time with you, especially if you approach her in a situation in person, like for example in a daytime situation at the club. But in this channel we're talking about daytime approaches. So if you approach a new girl in the street, in a shopping center, or wherever you are in a daytime situation, on the beach, since now it's summer, but it depends also in which part of the world you are. But for those of you that will go maybe now on the beach, it's still a daytime approach, okay? So a girl that you approach in this kind of situation, she's not coming on a date with you just for having a new friend, okay? She has already plenty of friends, okay? If you are approaching maybe in a social circle situation and you are not setting from the beginning a man-to-one communication, yeah, maybe she can come on a date with you just for a new friend. But if you're in a situation of cold approach, you will not get a date with a girl that she's just interested on being friend with you. Let me drink 1 second. Now I will not read questions. Type the questions in the chat box. I will read it later. So also, for example, another indicator of interest is that if she comes to the date dressed well. I remember in 2019 when I was having sex with between 1 to 3 new girls every week. I remember that I was already understanding how the date was ending since the first few seconds, because I was checking how she's dressing, if she's putting lots of effort in dressing, if she's dressing elegant, high heels. Also, it may be a signal if she's dressing with some red objects, like with I don't know, if she's using a red in her appearance, maybe red lipstick, red high heels, a red dress. Now this may be a shit signal, like if she's touching her hair, you don't have to check for these signals. So it may be true, the red color or these kind of things. But if she's dressing elegant, So she put a lot of effort in preparing herself for the date. Also, maybe if she came a long way from I don't know, maybe she's living outside the city, she drove for like 10 miles, or she took the public transportation. I don't know, it depends also in which city you are. Also, that is already a really big signal. It's a big signal. I remember dates in the past when where the girl, she did like 80 miles or 100 miles or 150 miles. Also remember one girl when I was still living in Italy. She came from Switzerland to Italy only for the date. So, and then we're as a man, we're stupid and we're wondering, is she interested or not? I don't know. She came from another country. She drove like I don't know 100 miles. She's dressing super elegant, and so what else do you need? Okay, and also another confusion that men have about the indicators of interest is that maybe sometimes she doesn't have she's not reacting in a super extrovert way, and the people think, oh, she's cold, she's not interested, but many times it's just your perception. Now this we have to make it clear, because if you have poor conversation skills, if you are also maybe while you are texting, many people, they have this false belief when she's texting really short messages, it means that she's not interested. It doesn't mean that she's not interested. Sometimes it means that she's not interested because you're not able to text properly, you're not able to generate interest in the girl when you're texting. But sometimes there are also women that are just cold when texting, and when they are in person, they are just really extroverted. They are I don't know, they are really expressive in the way that where they are talking, and you may confuse that she's not interested for just her natural way of being. Okay, so it also depends country by country. If you are used to maybe to a culture where you're really touchy, extrovert, and expressive in your way of speaking, if you're many uh, West European countries, America, Latinos country, if you're used to that culture, and then maybe you interact with I don't know, an East European girl, when where she may be sometimes colder in the appearance, but she's not cold. It's just a natural way of being, and you may think, oh, she's not interested. Okay, I can give you thousands of examples, but let's go on because I have other things to say. Also, for example, in the physical escalation. Now, as I said, I'm not checking the questions. If you have questions, type it in the chat box. I will read the questions later. Also, for example, in the physical escalation, when you're on a date, and don't expect the girl to react in a super positive way to your physical escalation. If she's reacting in a super positive way, perfect, you can go on and also skip some moves and kiss her faster. But neutral signals are actually the positive signals. Okay, because girls, they don't, also they are not, they are shy, they don't know how to touch. So even if she's super hot, it doesn't mean that she's confident. And also many girls, they don't want to 99% of women, they don't want to seem they don't want to seem sluts. They will not take the first step. And here I'm talking about physical escalation. And you may confuse her reactions for she's not interested, while she's interested, and you just have to go on with the physical escalation. If she's reacting in a negative way, okay, work more on the conversation and wait maybe 20 minutes before trying again to make physical contact. If she's reacting in a neutral way, perfect, just go on with the physical escalation after maybe 10 minutes. If she's reacting in a positive way to the physical escalation, you know also that you can skip some moves, you can go faster with the physical escalation, you can get to the kiss faster. Okay, but don't confuse that she's reacting in a neutral way, she's not interested. No, neutral, she's reacting in a neutral way, it means that she's interested. You can go on. Okay, this will save you thousands of dates. I remember I burned so many dates in my beginning, not knowing this, because I was going on in the physical escalation only when she was reacting in a super positive way to the physical contact. And guess what? It was maybe 10% of the times that they are reacting in a super positive way with the physical contact. It means that they are also reciprocating with the physical contact. This is what I mean for positive reaction. Also, when you make the invitation to go home, or for example the invitation for the instant date, also don't expect the girl to say yes. to say yes with words, because saying yes puts responsibility on her shoulders, and she doesn't want to feel responsible. So many times they will not say anything. Okay, that not saying anything is what we just said it. It's a neutral reaction. Okay, many times when I make the invitation for going home, they are just not saying anything. I just get up and she's following me. Or sometimes they're asking some questions. They're asking where is your apartment, in what area it is, or maybe they are just asking where is the bathroom. They go to the bathroom, and then they go to the bathroom, and then we go to my place. So in some cases they will also say yes, also with words, but do not expect it. And if you don't know this, you will confuse the reaction, the answer, for a negative answer, which sometimes it's positive. That's why most part of men, they never get laid, because they confuse when the girl is interested, they think that she's not interested, and when she's not interested, they think that she's interested. Let me drink 1 second. Also, I will give you also some examples of what I call jackpot moments. So these are the super big indicators of interest. Okay, and when you hear something like this in a conversation with a girl, usually on a date, or maybe also in a shorter interaction, but usually when you hear these indicators, these kind of things in the conversation, I usually think, okay, jackpot, I will have sex with this girl if I don't mess it up. Okay, so there's always that factor that even if she's super interested, if you're doing wrong things during the date, you will not end up in the bedroom. So I will give you a few examples of these jackpot moments. I was in a club. It was a girl 5 years ago, I think. It was 2018. And I took her out of the club. We were drinking something outside the club. There was a bar outside the club. And we were talking about tattoos, because I saw she was having a tattoo on her leg. And I asked her if she has also other hidden tattoos, and she told me something like, now I don't remember exactly, but she told me something like, I have one here, and she took my hand to make me feel, and it was more or less in this area of the body. And she said, but for the moment I cannot show it to you because I don't have underwear. So it means she doesn't have panties, and she doesn't have the bra. Okay. And in that moment, I realized, okay, if I don't screw it up, I will have sex with her at the end of the night. Then at the end of the night, I just went to her place, but there was also the roommate. But I end up having sex with her in the first date. I remember also another girl. We were on an instant date, so from a daytime approach, we're moving from the first to the second location. And I asked her, of course, in a contextual moment, so you don't have to ask it out of nowhere. I asked her if she have ever been in a nudist beach. Okay, so beaches where you can go naked. And she told me, no, I've never been there, but I would like to go with you. So in that moment, in that moment, I still haven't kissed her. Maybe I tried to kiss her. I don't remember, but I kissed her in the second location. But in that moment, I realized, okay, if I don't screw it up, I will have sex with her, and I had sex with her after like 3 or 4 hours from that moment. Because in a daytime approach, usually you will have sex if you're having sex on the same day, the so-called same day. It will take from maybe 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, to 5 hours. You can also do it faster, but you will get objections, and it's not a race on who is having sex faster. Okay, it's one of the principles I realized in 2018, I think, that really made my results explode in a positive way. Just expanding my interactions 1 hour more, one location more, and then it became so much easier to bring girls to my place. Also, let me drink 1 second. And let me think to other examples. I remember a girl in 2019, I think. We were on a first date, and no, it wasn't on a first date. It was while we were texting. I posted stories on a story on Instagram or on WhatsApp, For our American friends, they don't know that you can post also WhatsApp stories on WhatsApp, but just the stories like Instagram stories, where I was in a club, and there was like a poker table, so like gambling or this kind of things. But I was not in a casino. I was just in a club, and there was this table where people were playing, and I just made a video of that. I posted it, and this girl that I was in touch with, she texted me something that gambling is the only one of the vices that I don't have so far, or something like this. So what does it mean? That the other vices that she has are sex, or maybe also like drugs or alcohol, or I don't know, but it was a really positive signals. In fact, in the first date, I had sex with her really very, very easily. I don't know. There are also other signals, but I will just go through the questions if there are questions. Next time, come live in the Italian channel. I didn't understand one thing in the Telegram reply. Okay, so we have we have people from the Italian channel, of course, that are in the wrong channel. So I think that's it for this video. Would you like to have sex regularly with new girls approached during the day? If so, click the link in the description below. If you have any questions, text one of our expert consultants for free using the contact information below in the description.